Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back once again for the very first time to the Thoughts and Crap Show, where today, as per usual, is your host Anjo here with another video for you guys. Today's a little update video about Armored Core 6. Now, they unexpectedly released a patch, version 1.02, and yeah, this is from Bandai Namco's website, and I just kind of wanted to go over all of the patch notes with you guys and kind of give you my impressions, analysis of what we're looking at here today, and then later in the video we'll be getting to some gameplay, actually testing what was changed, and basically it's a bunch of balance adjustments. I dare say they may have made the game easier. I'm not sure, or they patched out certain exploits, maybe. I kind of doubt it though, because I feel like the last thing they want to do with Armored Core 6 is alienate a new fan base. But the game has been doing very well. People have been really enjoying it. And so yeah, let's get right into it. First off, they made a bunch of balance adjustments to certain weapons, and more on this here in a bit. But essentially, it's a lot of the early game weapons, the rifles, linear rifle, some of the machine guns, and that's basically what this is right here. So the Ransetsu increased attack power, rate of fire, decreased reload time, and basically for all of these they got buffed. Because like later in the game there's really not a lot of reason to use most of these weapons. Even in the early game they very quickly become obsolete, so I feel like these are good changes. The Curtis increased attack power, decreased reload time. The Turner increased attack power, projectile speed, decreased reload time. The Scudder increased attack power / reload projectile speed as well, decreased reload time. And I find that interesting. I'll get back to that here in a bit. The Ransetsu increased attack power, projectile speed, decreased reload time. The Ludlow increased attack power / total rounds / projectile speed, decreased recoil and reload time. And the Chang Chen increased attack power / total rounds / projectile speed, decreased reload time. And the Etsujin increased attack power / total rounds / projectile speed, decreased reload time. And what else we got? As far as balance goes, there's only one other thing here. Adjusted certain attacks performed by the enemy units. AAPO7 Balteus, as we all know, famous boss there. The IA-13 Sea Spider, and the IB-01 CEL-240, which I can't remember which one that is. I think that's the Wrecker. I could be wrong. And bug fixes. So whether you encountered these or not, personally, I'm not sure I did, but let's go through. Fixed a bug that prevented certain weapons from dealing damage to the boss of the mission. Destroy the weaponized mining ship. I believe I actually did run into that. Fixed a bug that caused the boss of the mission prevent corporate salvage of new tech to be unable to detect the player. Caused the boss? I don't think I ran into that one either, but I can't remember which boss that is. Fixed a bug that caused certain enemies to not be displayed correctly during the mission. Survey the uninhabited floating city. I did not notice that one either. Fixed a bug that caused certain enemies and background objects to be displayed incorrectly during the mission Attack the Old Spaceport. Don't remember that either. Fixed a bug that caused vertical missiles and certain coral weapons to deal unintended amounts of damage. I think I did run into that. Some of the late game, minor spoilers here, some of the late game coral weapons did seem to get somewhat nerfed or have strange behaviors, so this is probably for the better. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping coral weapons actually get buffed, because like they don't, most of them are pretty much useless. There's a few here and there that are kind of better than their standard counterparts, but if they have standard counterparts. But yeah, for the most part, coral weapons are kind of inferior. Alright, intended amount of damage. Improved camera controls when spectating online arena battles. I didn't know about that. Fixed a bug that caused the punch animation to not be displayed correctly on the opponent's screen during online arena battles. I haven't seen that either. Other bug fixes. Cool, thanks. Great, guys. Good to know. It's not like I'm going to read these and analyze each one. Xbox One / Series X / Steam fixed a bug that caused the game to enter offline mode and unable to save progress after the device recovers from sleep mode. I don't play on those platforms, so didn't run into that. Steam fixed the text displayed on screen after selecting quit game from the system menu on the title screen. And also Steam fixed a bug causing certain bosses to be rendered incorrectly. Version number of this update is shown in the lower right corner of the title screen is as follows: at version 22. And regulation version 1.02.1. Online play requires the player to apply this update. And I love this note right here too. We will continue to provide improvement updates in the future to allow players to further enjoy Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. Please stay tuned for more news by following our social channels, which that's how I found out about this actually, is from the Armored Core Twitter channel. So this part's very important. Notice to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series players. If the game is set to boot to offline mode in the network settings inside the system menu, the latest regulation files will not be downloaded even if the update is applied. The game will remain at regulation version 1.02. Please ensure the game is set to online mode before attempting to apply this update. So, that is important. Especially, like, I'm glad I read that before, making this video and updating my game and all that. Because I have mine set to offline because I don't care about PvP, and the fact that that's the only multiplayer we have, a little disappointing. I would love to see some kind of co-op option, honestly. But, and I really hope they adopt like the Elden Ring approach, where when they make changes, they can do the balance changes for PvP, which, that's totally fine. But not necessarily for PvE, like for the base game, for campaign mode, basically. Because everything revolving around how PvP works in the game, and then all of the balance updates are subject to that. I don't think that's gonna make for... It's gonna be harder and harder going forward in this game, especially if it does get an expansion, like I'm hoping it does, to keep things balanced so people on the PvP side of things are still having a good time but people playing it as a single player game are also having a good time. Which, I mean, ideally, since the game has been doing very well, and I'm sure FromSoft has already considered, the possibility of an expansion if the game does very well, because most FromSoft games in the past decade have had expansions if they do well in the first, couple of months. Obviously, Sekiro did not, but that game did not do nearly as well as a lot of the other FromSoft titles. It was only until after it won Game of the Year, and then they came out with the Game of the Year edition, that people started playing it more, and they started selling more copies, and people were like, wow, I really shouldn't have been sleeping on this game. But it kind of had, and I was kind of worried this would be the same way with Armored Core 6, because this is a game that does not hold your hand. Like, granted, the earlier missions are easier, but yeah, for a lot of players, like, they get to Balteus, and then they're like, well, I guess I'm not playing the rest of the game. So, it's unfortunate, because, like, this game is incredible, and, like, going through and doing all the stuff, getting all the endings, and getting all the parts, and really getting into the nitty-gritty of it is so satisfying. So, but the numbers have been good. The game has been selling very well. The reviews have been very good. So I think that's enough. I don't think they care as much about, how active the servers are, how often people are getting on PvP, that sort of thing. As long as the numbers are good, I think it's good for the game. So, anyway, that is going to do it for this part of the vidya. So let's get to the gameplay. And again, remember these names: Rensetsu, Curtis, Turner, Scudder. Oh, Rensetsu again, AR. So Rensetsu RF and Rensetsu AR. Okay. And then Ludlow, Cheng Chen, and Etsujin. Sorry, it's really small on my screen. So, as you can see, and I found this to be very strange. So Rensetsu RF is the first weapon on the list. I've already bought I'm trying to get all the parts at this point. So I already have all the right-hand weapons and left-hand weapons. So if you just look at the top of the list here, yeah, Rensetsu RF, there's the Curtis, the Harris didn't get any changes, the Turner, the Scudder, the Rensetsu AR, the Ludlow, the Cheng Chen, the Etsujin. Literally, they just went through like the first chunk of weapons and made them better. So it wasn't like they went through everything and then made a bunch of changes. But they said, okay, well, a lot of the early game weapons are basically obsolete after the first couple missions, so let's make them better. Which, I get it. I totally get it. And especially for the Scudder, I really appreciate that, because I use these a lot. Because for a standard rifle, they're actually quite good. And, the change was... Okay. Attack power and projectile speed and decreased reload time. Right. So that is great news for these. Like, really great news. So let's go ahead and go into... I guess I could have sold all the other weapons. That would have been smart. Alright. So let's go ahead and go into an AC test, which... for the longest time, I didn't know you could initiate an AC test from the assembly. I thought you had to go down to sortie and then AC test, so I was doing that every time. And I was like, oh, there's a shortcut there. Wow, that's really cool. So I'm just going to use my typical whaling unit that I usually use, the tetrapod MT, and then turn off AI, which is really nice because it really lets you just appreciate like damage numbers and such, and like impact buildup and all that. So yeah, full clip on both, 3500, really not bad, and it's already reloaded. Like, really not bad. And another reason why these weapons are so great, even beyond the early game, is the ammunition cost is only 50. So considering like the cost to damage ratio, that's really good. Like really, really good. But let's take a look at the other weapons. So the Ransetsu RF, right? It's a burst rifle. I think it's the only burst rifle. I mean, there's a burst assault rifle, but I feel like that's a very minor discrepancy. Okay, there we go. Oh, you can charge them? Meh. Okay, so the rapid fire is actually not that great. But they're already reloaded, so I mean, that's cool. I just feel like that's really not that good. Alright. Okay, what was the other one? The Curtis? The Curtis, yeah. Curtis linear rifle, which, I mean, they really nerfed linear rifles in general to what they used to be. Especially in Last Raven, where they were just the third generation of Armored Core, actually. Okay, so regular attack power, pretty decent. Charge attack power, almost 700. Charge impact, almost 900. That's really good. And charge heat buildup of 550. Okay, that's really not that bad. Ammunition cost is 100, and you get 420 on each rifle. Okay. Oh yeah, the rapid fire on these is actually really solid. That is way better than I remember. And the impact just on the regular attacks, man, that is good. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Alright, not bad. Okay, really not bad. Alright, so list again, the Turner and the Scudder both got improved. Yeah, the projectiles before just felt slow as well, like, that was a big part of the problem. Oh, so higher numbers. Okay, higher numbers on rapid are better. Gotcha. So they made the Turners even more rapid? Or maybe it was that way before. So it's a good deal faster than the Scudder too, wow. But compared to the Curtis, which is 2.5. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's not great for impact, but that is That is borderline like machine gun territory. And the reload is like pretty good, actually. Huh. So anyway, the other reason why the scutters are great, which you get these a little bit later, good chunk more attack power. Impact is like actually pretty good. The ideal range is a little bit farther. Like you don't get as many bullets, but they're not that much heavier either. And they're not quite as rapid, but I feel like it's a really good trade-off. But yeah, the scutters, these things are just great. The reload time before did feel a little unnecessarily long. But now it's just, bam, you're back in it. Yeah, what's the direct hit adjustment for these? 185, which is really not bad. Like for the linear rifles is at 220. Which I mean, yeah, okay, I can see why you would use linear rifles. But the ammo cost on the Harris is twice as much? The recent buff, I feel like that's not worth it anymore. The Curtis kind of better. Plus you get way more ammo. Like, it seems weird they would buff the Curtis like that and not the Harris. Plus, didn't they also increase the projectile speed for the Curtis? No, they just increased the attack power. Okay. Yeah, because that would have been weird if they did that. Okay, so the Rensetsu AR, the Burst Assault Rifle. Which, what did they do for this one? Okay, so attack power, projectile speed, and decrease reload time. Yeah, the attack power before was pretty low. And I still feel like it's probably not worth it, but... that's the thing. Yeah, it just doesn't do much for impact. Like, I get it. Like, 6 bullets in quick succession like that, but... if those bullets are like that weak, who cares? You know? And the accumulative impact is just not good. Yeah, I feel like that's not enough to make them worth it. Maybe for like really weak enemies. Okay, so here's the one where I think this makes it way better. So in case you guys are unfamiliar, the Gatling guns, the Hubens, these are kind of the kings of rapid fire weapons in this game. They're just that good. Also a returning design from previous Armored Core games, where there was a machine gun that looked kind of similar to this that was just kind of the best. But yeah, all the machine guns got buffed. And... attack power, total rounds, and projectile speed increased for all three. the Ludlow, the Changchen, and the Etsujin. So, which is kind of especially good for the Ludlow. I don't know why the Changchen didn't get as much of a buff. Probably because it has a lot more rounds at 990. But like they have the same rate of fire. And the Ludlow has better attack power impact and accumulative impact. It has lower recoil, but like at that much recoil, it doesn't matter. And it's got a little bit more range, so like they kind of overbuffed the Ludlow, so now it's better than the Changchen, which it was the other way around, because you get the Changchen later. So I feel like that wasn't the best adjustment there. But it does make the Ludlows quite good, and they're more lightweight by almost 1,000. And the energy load is like half. So it's like, why? Like, I get it, you get 270 more bullets with the Changchen, but you're not going to go through all those bullets anyway. Like, in most missions, right? But yeah, they made that a lot better. Like, just the fact that it can initiate stagger on a tetrapod that fast, like within the ideal range, almost the entirety of the bar. So if you add missiles to that, which all of those missed, why? Because I was too close? Yeah, and then direct hit time. So then you can easily just like switch to a melee and then bam bam. And it's the same direct hit adjustment too. Yeah, it is. So they really just made the Ludlow better. Very strange. Oh, that actually did initiate the thing. Oh, the magazine is larger. Well, that's another point for the Changchen, actually. That does make a big difference. I mean, the fact that it's ricocheting at just like 100. Really do that? Oh, it really does that. How close do you have to be for... Oh, I guess like under 100-ish. Yeah, okay, so if you're closer than 100, then okay. One of the volleys is gonna miss, but... Okay, so that's a point for the Changchen. And the last thing that got adjusted, the Etsujin, which... I mean, if they improved, I was kind of afraid they would nerf the Gatling gun, but... They just left it alone, which is totally fine. The Etsujin, I feel like, is kind of a worthless weapon. The attack power is better. It is a burst machine gun, though. The impact is better. The cumulative impact is better. And now to the bad. The ideal range is not, it's about the same. Rapid fire is not as good. The magazine rounds are 24. You get 600 total rounds. I just don't see why you would use these, because I don't think they're that good. Like, they're decently fast, but with the magazine of only 24, it's just not that good. Granted, that volley of 3 bullets comes out like really fast, and they are lightweight, but not as light as the Ludlow, which is definitely better. But yeah, The Gatling gun, man. It's yeah, if they made that better, it's already one of the best weapons in the game. So like, let's see if we can okay. See if we can notice the difference here on projectile speed. Oh yeah, they are a little bit faster. But for how close you have to be, I feel like I'm kind of surprised that wasn't adjusted. Because the fact that you have to be like right up in your enemy's face. Granted, that is way better than what it was. So, I mean, I would say the real winners here, definitely the Curtis, and definitely the Scudders. Like, I already loved using the Scudders, but probably gonna go back to using them more. In fact, just today in my testing before I did this, started recording this video, it's, I was very surprised. I was like, wow. So the Scudders are now better. That is really great. Plus, like, for a lot of the light MTs and missions and stuff, they are powerful enough to where you can just be, like, AR boosting, like, past them, and then they're just destroyed by the time you're, you know, by the time you're through there. So the downside here, because yeah, I mean, the Chang Chen's way better now than they were. So the Scudders have 450 bullets, right? Chang Chen's have 990, almost double. And the ammo is 20 instead of 50. So it actually kind of works out. Huh. However, the range difference is kind of a big deal breaker. Because yeah, it depends on the enemies, but for most enemies where it counts, you're gonna want like a little bit of distance or a way to create distance. So, I mean, it kind of works out, but still, I would still go with the Scudders. Plus, like, the accuracy thing, even if you're outside of the effective range for that particular enemy, like, it's still gonna hit the target. So, like, and this is a tetrapod. Like, they have great defense. But that's, you know, that's kind of the point of testing, right? Is, try to figure out how effective your weapons are going to be, even on, you know, the thickest of armor plating, right? So, but yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of, I mean, it's not really an episode, this video. Let me know what you guys think about the update. I mean, personally, I've already finished 3 playthroughs. Got most of the trophies, but because of this patch, I'm definitely going in for a 4th. Like, I was gonna put the game down for a little bit, but then it's like, surprise, there's a patch. I'm like, oh dude, thank you. I didn't want to put the game back down quite yet, so that is, and I'm definitely interested to see what they did to Balteus and the Sea Spider. As far as that 3rd enemy, I'm sure it's one of the bosses. I'd have to guess at this point since it's just a bunch of numbers, but I think it's like that Wrecker AC, that Wrecker cleaner thing that Carla throws at you when you guys first start communicating. But anyway, hope I didn't spoil anything for you guys. I know light amount of spoilers in this video, but yeah, thank you for being here. Of course, before we get going, a word and very special thank you. Well, usually we would do that here to the channel members, but at the time of recording, we don't have any channel members. So if you'd like to support the show more directly, check out the join button or the Farts and Crab Show Buy Me a Coffee. Either way, tier start at $3 a month. It's only 10 cents a day. Gets you into all the basic stuff, including getting to vote on the series that get made here on this channel. All of the current series were selected by channel members via the members' choice polls. We are having one right now, actually, that was posted yesterday. I was trying to think when this video is coming out. As soon as possible, obviously, but yeah, it'll be the day after the 4th RC sample video. So each of those RC samples is a possibility for the next Retro Classics series that is going to be here on this channel. This poll is going to be active for 6 more days. And I'm not sure, let me check the calendar. I believe it ends on the 20th. I could be wrong. If this video is coming out on the 14th, then yes. It's going to be, that poll is going to be running until the end of the day on the 20th. So, there's still time if you guys want to help influence the content that gets made here on this channel. And whenever Dark Souls Remastered and Tales of Zestiria are done, we are going to have a members' choice poll to determine what's going to replace those series. But that's why we have Retro Classics in the morning, because those are typically shorter series. So we have a members' choice poll once a month, basically, to try to get a new series out, sometimes twice a month. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for today. But again, just appreciate you guys being here, greatly appreciate it. And before we get going, yeah, thank you, and hope you all have a beautiful day. So, until next time.